Joining me now is Kate Tulenko. She's CEO of Corvus Health, a global health firm. Kate, we've been hearing unusual flu strains. What are you hearing and how do these strains evolve? Just want to get your thoughts on what you've seen so far this year.
Yeah, so as your reporter was mentioning, one of the reasons that the flu season is so bad this year in China is an unusual strain of the virus, B. Yamagata, is causing the flu outbreak. And this causes problems for two reasons. One is that the population doesn't have a natural immunity to the virus because they haven't had it before or haven't had it recently. And two, it's not a virus that's included in the vaccine. So the vaccine is not protecting against the virus in China.
How does it get to that point? How does this unusual strain evolve? Because I know it's a lot of predicting when you put together those flu vaccines for the upcoming year. You're really guessing.
Well, part of it's due to population movements, and viruses can get isolated in small groups. And so even though scientists try as much as possible to survey and see what viruses are most common, it's very easy for an unusual virus to pop up.
So how much does a vaccine really help? We always hear people say, go get vaccinated, go get vaccinated. What do you think the biggest issues are with this? We heard in our report that a low vaccination rate is to blame partly. Is it also the culture around it, or the huge population, or is it a lack of supply?
Right. In a country like China, there's several different reasons. One, as you said, is just the massive population, and having the health workforce infrastructure, the number of people to vaccinate is quite difficult. Also, cost may be a barrier. Often people seek health care in the private sector, and it can be too expensive for them. And also, some people are a little bit concerned about the vaccine, that, you know, is there something bad in it? Or you'll hear people say, I got the flu vaccine, and I still got the flu anyway. But an important thing to realize is even if you get the flu anyway, if you've had the vaccine, usually the flu is less severe and you're less likely to transmit it to people. So you're actually protecting both yourself and you're protecting people around you.
Is what we're seeing in China right now indicative of what we could see in other regions around the world? How does China compare right now to other countries with this particular type of flu?
Well, actually, China is unusual in having the B. Yamagata. Both the UK and the US and also Australia have the H3N2, which is a more classic type of influenza virus. And fortunately, the vaccine is included. It does include H3N2, so it is providing good protection.
And for people who don't realize this, though, how is that affected by travel, with so many people traveling nowadays? I mean, can what's happening in one country move to the other and vice versa?
Right. Well, that's why you see all the Anglophone countries share the same virus, because you have travel back and forth. And in fact, in the U.S., the flu outbreak started very early, so Thanksgiving travel spread it, and the holiday travel around Christmas time spread it as well. And interestingly, in China, the epidemics tend to peak in December and then tend to die off in January when children go on the school breaks in January, whereas in the U.S., the peak tends to be a little bit later in February.
All right. Kate Tulenko, always great to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.